Hello again, everybody. It's Plowboy's Ghost Channel. Today I'm going to show you something else I've done, and I don't know, give you my take on it, and maybe get your take on it. Let me unload this thing first. Y'all know that I am heavily into the Colt, Remington, Smith & Wesson clones, single actions, but I've really not showed y'all any cowboy-ish Ruger revolvers. Y'all, a long time ago, matter of fact, some of my first cartridge cowboy type revolvers that I ever had, and I mean, you know, sort of kind of resembling them, were Ruger old model Vaqueros, you know, the first full-size, full-frame plus P capable Vaqueros and 45 Colt, and several new Vaqueros since 2005-ish, somewhere around in there. And you know, I know we don't discuss these, I don't discuss them with y'all much, you know, and it's completely unloaded now, but not long before I started doing gun videos, I actually had a new Vaquero. It was polished stainless like this. It was a 5.5-inch model with a black plastic grips on it, and I actually kind of really liked that gun. But once I got into the clones, and I'm not going to unload this in case trouble comes up the driveway, y'all know, those of you who have had both, know that there is a difference. These two guns might resemble each other from 10, 15, 20 foot, but when you get them in your hand, you really can find the differences between them. This being a much closer Colt clone, and this being Ruger's gun entry into the cowboy action shooting thing and trying to take advantage of that with a gun that resembles a Colt 1873 single action Army Peacemaker. But y'all, not to take anything away from these, I actually like these. And if you have any doubts or any issues with wanting to carry 5 or 6 and you don't want to go on a the safety notch on a true Colt clone, or Colt for that matter, well, and you don't mind a transfer bar, this kind of checks that box. When I traded for this gun day before yesterday, I think it was, and immediately I realized that hammer was like 3 times as heavy as it needed to be. I don't know what the spring was in it, but Lord, y'all, if that was factory, Ruger was trying to give people worse arthritis in their thumb knuckles. I went in there and I looked, and I thought I did have a spring, but it was really too light. So I took it back out and I just cut like 2 coils off this factory coil spring in it. One leg off, trim it off for the trigger spring, and we're back to pretty much the most of a poor boy, what used to be called a po' boy's action job on a Ruger. Y'all, I have not made up and what did I trade for it? Okay, I know, I hear y'all in the background asking. It was not another single action. It was not another revolver. It was a Glock 20, Glock 20 10 millimeter. It got gone. Oh boy sent me a picture out of the blue, had this, and was wanting to know if I knew anybody wanted to sell it, wanted to buy it. And I asked him how much, and it was, definitely more than I gave for my lasting, and I wasn't walking around with money in my pocket anyway, so I said, no, not for that kind of money. I said, I have something I'd trade for it. And I sent him a picture of my Glock 20 and ammo and holster and night sights and all this other crap that I'd put on it, thinking that was, what I wanted for a mall encounter, should I have to defend myself at 40 yards of the mall in a mall. But I still have other things that will suffice for that. And dude come right on over, we made a trade. So here I sit with 45 Colt chambered firearm number 8 in my possession currently, and I'm asking myself, well, am I ever really going to tote the Ruger over a true Colt clone? And y'all, I really don't know the answer to it. I don't. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to unload that, so I'm not going to go rolling through the action on it. But I'm sure most of y'all know we don't have nowhere near 4 clicks. We got, what, 2? Yeah, 2. We can, hey, look, it really is easier for me to count to 2 than it is to count to 4. And it's, half the time, too, usually. So there's that. That is kind of important. But, really, seriously, y'all, these guns are kind of slick. This gun was made in or shipped in 2016. The story behind it is that the man who owned it, I guess since it was new, didn't put just a few rounds through it, and it was cleaned up, and then it was kind of a safe queen. We all understand that. If you ain't loading or casting 45 Colt, excuse me, and the bullets therefore, you know, you're not going to shoot a lot of 45 Colt unless you got more money than I do. And probably most of you do. But old boy didn't shoot it much, and I know where it came from, just down the road. The guy that I got it from said that he had bought it the day before he brought it to me to trade. Now I understand that, y'all. I've had buyer's remorse, trader's remorse, and you know, I was straight up with him about what I had, and I can't say it again. The gun that I had, and he wanted it. I wanted this more than I wanted that particular kind of firearm, that particular brand especially, even though that particular model is the only one of that brand that I like. So here I sit with this, and I'm trying to decide, am I keeping it? I ain't shot it yet, of course, but now, hey, I got another box of 200 grain factory load 50 rounds of some cowboy ammo, atomic, which to me, I see brass in primed cases. You know, at the very least I could break them down and put my load in it, or black powder load in it. But who knows? I ain't shot a 200 grain 45 Colt load in maybe 15, 20 years, so I may shoot it, I don't know. And something. What would y'all do? Would you hang on to the polished stainless? And like I said, I actually do kind of like that. 4 5/8. Is it still 4 5/8 or 4 3/4? I've heard it said both ways. I thought it was all 4 5/8 on the Ruger, and that equal to the ejector rod housing. Barreled 45 Colt. I mean, she's a 6-shooter without any fear or any worry. I've checked it for transfer bar pinch, and it ain't got none. You know, it'll drop the transfer bar right on down. Even when you pushing forward on it, the trigger lets go just like it's supposed to. So this one appears to be good. I haven't checked the cylinder throats just yet to see, the chamber throats just yet to see what they mic out at, but the last new Vaquero that I checked was 4525. That's right on the money for cast bullets in my estimation, at least what I've been told. So what would you do with it? Keep it, sell it, trade it? Talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching.